Hey guys, Skoggul here. Making a video log. Talk about some of the things. It was a little slow making videos for a while. I had the end of the summer, had a lot to get done, a lot to do with my kids and such. So anyhow, we're moving on. I should be able to make at least one of those higher elo videos a week. Talk about different roles, different assignments, different jobs, different cool counters, any cool ideas I see. I'll try to pick something cool each time I can. And then thinking about what to do as far as training people, because that's come up a little bit with us. And as far as training goes, I think I'm going to give out a couple free trainings to some of my subscribers that have been with me for a while. And try to help them pick a champion or a role and work on it. Either teach them, I have like all the champions basically, so I could teach them their role and their assignments and their counters and who to play against, so they could practice against people before they get in a real job. For instance, if you struggle with York, I could take York and then teach you what I think you could do better, or what I would do if I was you, stuff like that. And then I could watch some of it. If you send me some videos or upload them onto a lower recorder, I can watch them. I can make a video just for you for feedback. I think I'll give that away to someone who says, hey, I'd like some feedback. Tell me how I'm doing. Coach me up a little bit. I'll probably do one this week. If it goes well, I might do another next week, or I might do them every other week. Let's just see how it goes. I don't want to give too many hours out doing that for free. I do work and I'm trying to set up this website, but I think it'd be nice for those people who have been subscribers to get some kind of cool reward for it by having me help them a little bit, help them analyze their games, give them some feedback, or to take and play with them. Depends on timing, if we can get together or not. And for videos, I'm going to try to work on a trading and lane control video. I did that one with Renekton, put myself playing on that. My website's account is, I guess I'll call that, instead of a Smurf account, it's a level 30 with like 80 champions, so it's not exactly that much of a Smurf account. So I could make more of those, and then I could do champion guides by talking about what skills I take and what order the builds, why I took the builds. Because when you're playing against two people, even bots, you have to be careful you don't just get out traded. You have to trade well to farm, and you have to set it up that way. And that's kind of what I can teach, and it's something to practice. I pretty much won't play a champion till I can get 200 minions against two bots in 20 minutes. I feel like lets me learn the champion well enough to know what you can and can't do, how to farm, how to carry games on that champion. I think it's important to know how to. Talking about some other drills, we were going to look into doing a split push drill where you split push and have two of your friends. This one you can't do by yourself. It takes 3 people or 4, but you wait 18 minutes into the game or 15 minutes into the game, just depending on the game. And then at 15 or 18 minutes, you have 2 people in the other lanes, and then you have that person split push, and your team can't cross mid lane until you have to go bottom lane and show until he hits the tower. When he hits the tower, you can go try to kill him. He cannot retreat immediately. He has to wait till you get spotted in a ward or get visually seen, and then he backs out. So once the video's up, it'll make more sense. But that's another skill people could learn. We could start doing some 2v1 swap lanes and practice them against people. Some of these drills we're going to do take a couple friends, but try to find a couple friends if that's your goal. Maybe I'll set up the forums on my website, even though it's not functional to where I want it to be in other areas. I could get it so it's functional in that area. I could also start putting champion guides on my website specifically, where here's Ari, here's me getting 200 CS with Ari, let me explain it. Now let me take Ari in, I'll just play a few games the next day and take some of the things, and this is why I built this item, this is why I built that item, and then go through all the champions and give you a quick little overview. I think that's better than writing a guide. Guides, you get too static. I feel like it can be self-defeating. If you don't understand what to do, the guide can be very instrumental to get you started, but if you stick to so-and-so says build this item on this champion, don't build another item, that's what I build, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Learning the champions, like Blitzcrank's just always banned, but if your team just builds Banshee Veils, Blitzcrank becomes virtually useless. So there's just different things like Executioner's Calling counters Warwick really hard. You might have to drop your Wriggles or not go 2 Dorans to get it, but it gives you sustain in your lane, and it really counters those high sustain champions. And you need to learn how items work and what items counter champions. So I might do an items countering champion PowerPoint, or maybe break it down on my website, put it out there, and see what people think, because I think you could learn a lot that way. You can say double AP, this is how I build this champion. Single AP, then this is how I build the champion. I'm verse AD, this is how I build it. And stuff like that. So that would get us a little farther there. What else was in my plans? We may possibly bring on another programmer to try to get our website up faster. We thought it would be an easier job than it was. The concept's fairly simple. The work on it's not. What else? By the way, I just FYI, my main account I'm not going to give out. I like to be able to play in peace sometimes and relax. It's very relaxing. So you'll always know me as the FOE Odin or FOE Thor, and those are 2 accounts I've created for the website for certain roles. Odin turned into an encompass all. Alright, anyhow, I got interrupted by a phone call. But Odin became a cover all the champions, and so that was kind of interesting, but Thor is more of a top lane jungler, so, and I'm not the only one who plays Thor. I let one of my friends play Thor, so Thor's more that one, but he doesn't play League tons. He plays League some. He's pretty good. I think he's better than he gives himself credit for, but whatever. So anyhow, we'll be making those guides. I'll be making some individual champion guides, more video guides, how to do them, why I picked what items, what I rushed, what I didn't, and how to farm, how to roam, how to do different things depending on your champion and your situation. Because guides can't get very situational, and they don't teach you against certain champions. They just teach you the basics of a champion. You have to read it. Most people don't read it all anyways. They look at the item build, and then they get mad at people for doing different things. And I think there's tons of options to go with, so I think that's a mistake to get mad at people. So again, people, if you want me to view your game or train you, put it down, maybe give me a reason why I should pick you or whatever. I don't know how I'll select. Maybe it'll just be random to anyone who writes that they want me to help them a little bit, and we'll start something up that way. We'll see how far that goes. It's going to depend how it goes the first few times and how that goes, kind of to reward and thank people who stuck with me. I was a little bit slow for a few weeks, but I'll be back. I am having trouble with the low recorder. That is part of why I haven't got a video up this week yet. It is giving me some issues. There was a guy I was training that picked up Nidalee and started playing Nidalee Treeline, and I might show you some of those videos. It was actually really cool. He did really, really good, albeit against level 15 players that were probably new, but he went 3 games in a row without dying, and I was helping him learn this champion, and he had just picked it up, and it was kind of cool. So I might put those up if the video recorder works. And he played with some of my other friends, like, I don't know if we have seen them in the videos because Loki wasn't there. So we've seen Loki, but you'll see some of the other people that are kind of working on the website with me. And that being said, that's why I was a little slower. So my goal is to get one of the higher ELO videos out a week. And then, we're thinking about doing a tier list. So if you see this video and you want to talk about the tier list, I want to do a tier list for different ELO ranges. I've seen Element's tier list, and while he has more game experience than me and he has a good tier list, I don't believe that his ELO list, I think those are for all high ELO player tier lists, solo queue, where I think that there's champions that are super valid for blind picks, super valid for sub 1400 ELO that everyone calls ELO hell, where I think there's certain champions that can help you climb out of there, because the goal to climb out of those ELOs is you have to hard carry. You can't take a champion like Irelia who wins your lane unless you can win so hard that you can make sure you win mid or jungle. too. And that's very difficult to do sometimes, whereas you have champions like Scion, and Scion grabs Boots of Mobility. You can farm your lane really easy, AP Scion, and you can gank all over the map with those Boots of Mobility. Just run around and be a menace. And I think you can climb and win more games that way, because it's not just winning your lane, it's when you make your bottom lane win. And now you have your support stronger, your jungle stronger, because your jungle's having a decent game, and your AD carry stronger, so that could work. Or, I don't know how you talk people into this in solo queue, but if you can take a 2v1 lane, you can see if you can talk your AD carry and support to go top while you take bottom. There's certain champions that excel at this, and it can really put the pressure on the other team to respond and make it really hard on them. And so if you can figure out some champions that you can 2v1 with, you can carry yourself out that way. We'll talk about that. Maybe make a 2v1 tier list. Who works, who doesn't. I could maybe try it a lot more and see if I can't talk people and let me do that when I play, just to get a concept of who does well. I mean, there's a few obvious ones. York does well, Urgot does well. There's some other ones. Basically, you need some sort of sustain, a shield, a lot of ability to range or harass really well to take on these lanes. And I think it depends who they take bottom. It may not be a great idea if they take Taric. You may want to not consider it, but we could talk about that later. But other things that could, if people will get more receptive, maybe you can tell people to watch these videos or whatever, but the lane swap from top and mid. If you picked your mid first because it's solo queue and you want mid in your first pick, so you take a mid. So they can now counter your mid. Almost every mid is counterable, so you've left yourself exposed to the counter pick. Now, if your mid's picked later on, then it makes it better, but at lower elo, I wouldn't count on people to really swap you. You can get trolled really hard on that, and also, just something, this is my opinion, I don't know if this is the consensus opinion, but if your first pick and you want AD carry, your first pick, for whatever reason it is, take AD carry. Don't let them say, if you suck at AD carry, don't take AD carry. If you pick before them, they can't just call mid. Let them Q dodge for it. Maybe you don't want to get trolled that way, but you can take the role that you want when you pick. So, I don't know what the Riot standard is on that, but that's the reason they gave you a draft order. If anyone trolled and they picked a mid after you picked mid, it was them. And that won't help your elo, but I just don't like sitting in those pregame chats that Riot doesn't record and watch people get bullied out of picking what they want to play. I mean, it's a game first. It's fun. Try whatever. You've got to learn somewhere. You've got to learn in game. Play what you're trying to learn. If you're just trolling them, then yeah, that's different. But anyhow, that's my 2 cents on the subject. That's going to be it for this video log. I hope to have this up, and I hope to have a couple videos up again this week. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get any of my farming videos on. None of them work. So I don't know what's buggy about this replay. I'm hoping they fix it soon, or I might see if there's another replay. Peace out there. I've had such good luck with low replays that I'd hate switching, but I'd switch if I can't get it to work. Anyhow, good luck in all your games. Take care.